Morning, everybody. It is sloppy, wetty, muddy, goopy, rainy Monday morning. The only thing it needs missing is cold. It is 66 degrees. March 21, 22, 8 o'clock in the morning. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I kind of want to rattle your brains a little bit and take you on a trip down history lane. And I've touched on this a little bit, guys. And I just want to really emphasize, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are a consumer-based society. And as such, we produce very little. Now, we do produce a large percentage of our agriculture. And I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, we import or we export some of our agriculture. So we actually are a small exporter of farmed products. And we do make our own technology, at least in R&D. When it comes to manufacturing of that technology, we are very, very small. We choose to send our technology, our new form technology, overseas, unfortunately, to our competitors to manufacture our stuff. And you don't think they're going to, back engineer it and make it their own? That's why there's so many copycats out there. But I digress, guys. What I want to go into is I keep seeing all these YouTube videos and stuff from preppers with much, much larger YouTube channels than my own, touting about the probability and warning about a World War III. A employer of mine, and I've told y'all this, told me that if it doesn't affect you directly, then why are you worried about it? And the crazy thing is, guys, the person who told me this was telling me this in response on the very same day as 9/11. And his reasoning behind this was 9/11 happened in New York and at the Pentagon, all in the northern states up there in the upper corner up there. Me living down here in Texas, his response was, is there planes flying into our refineries down here? Are they flying into buildings in downtown Houston? No. Do you have family in New York City that was in the World Trade Center? No. Well, then why are you letting it bother you? Honestly, guys, on 9/11, even though airstrike happened hundreds of miles away from us, it affected a lot of us down here in Houston. But that kind of set a motion in my brain to, it really isn't affecting me. I mean, it's not causing, panic in the streets. People aren't rioting, and, there's not, craziness happening. But if World War III was to happen, because of technology, such as it is, guys, that wonderful barrier that keeps most wars off of our front doorstep, namely the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, are not the major obstacles they used to be. Obviously, though, as armies and navies and stuff go, our Navy dominates the waters. We have the ship numbers. We have the submarine numbers. We have the numbers to dominate the waters. But, the main problem is, guys, infiltration, sabotage. But mostly what I want to talk about, guys, during World War I and World War II, America shut down, guys. And what I mean by that is that luxuries of any way, shape, or form were not to be found. Food was rationed to the American populace. I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard the term Victory Garden. Victory Gardens was because food was rationed, guys. People grew a garden so that they didn't have to take food that needed to go overseas for the war effort. People grew their own. Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, cars were not manufactured for Americans. Petroleum products were not readily distributed. They were heavily rationed to the American populace. Clothing, heavily rationed. Tobacco, medicines, those home remedies and stuff like that. You know why they've lasted so long? Is because during those times, during the world wars, when medications was not readily available, people lived on those home remedies. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, if we go into World War War III, you will not find a new cell phone. You will not find new cars. What's on the lot is what's on the lot. You will not find, all the best foods. Foods will be limited. You'll be able to get, a certain amount of food every week. Only be able to spend a certain amount of money on that food. Because technology plays such a crucial part in our everyday lives, guys, the likelihood that we will retain any monicum of normality will probably be a miracle. More than likely, satellites will probably be taken out of the sky to, stop spying, stop, the internet from, showing things. One thing that Putin is losing the battle of public opinion, because even though he went in and he, killed their internet, Elon Musk sent Skynet over there, and, now there's internet getting out of there. People are being shown what's happening, I like to do Star Wars references because Star Wars, I believe, everybody believes that, The Simpsons predict so much in our world, but y'all really need to look at Star Wars, the whole Star Wars saga, and what happened is almost a blueprint of what's happening in America. Corrupt government being taken over by an insanely corrupt leader, playing both sides of the coin on the galactic stage, and ultimately I believe he actually planned the attack on himself, and ultimately used that plan and that attack to garner sympathy and, stuff like that. Guys, we have so much wrong with our government right now. Politicians making government positions a lifetime career. And if they do leave office, they don't leave Washington. They become a lobbyist for somebody. Ladies and gentlemen, if it does spark off to World War III, you can pretty much bet your bottom dollar that internet will be taken to nothing. Technology will be taken to nothing. The military will have pretty much the only internet available. And if the war comes to our shores, which I strongly feel that it will, and not through our ports and our ocean-based areas. If war comes to America, it's going to come through our northern and southern borders. Most likely, southern borders. And as happy as that sounds like to, the typical Texan who says, come and take it and don't tip me with a good time, it's not going to come through as an army, guys. It's going to come through if it hasn't already come through. It's going to come through sabotage. It's going to come through terrorism. They're going to bomb places. They're going to hit strategic areas. They're going to slow what little bit of industry we have, guys. It's going to knock it out. And we will have cars sitting on the side of the road out of gas. We will have industry stopped to nothing. We will have power grids going down to nothing. Now, these aren't nearly as devastating as, say, an EMP would be. EMP would knock us down to, the Stone Age. But let's say a couple of Pasadena or LaPorte refineries were hit. Let's say power grids were hit at their hubs. Live free, die hard wasn't all that far off on what could be done. It doesn't have to be done with technology. You don't have to get all on the internet and stuff like that and hack stuff. Literally. Drive a truck through the security gates and full of fertilizer and blow up a refinery. Hit a power hub. You know, crazy thing, man. We got all these infiltrators. I mean, really and truly, we got an Al Qaeda cell. We know they're there in 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 Angleton. Literally, 15 minutes from my sister's house is a cell full of Antifa. I'm not Antifa. It's full of Al Qaeda. Just saying, guys. Shit's gonna get weird. You think we're suffering now? Wait till the gas stations say nothing. All the pumps are out of order because there's no gas in the tanks. What's going to happen, guys, when there ain't no food in the grocery store? Ain't no gas at the stations. There ain't no cell signal. There ain't no power. And you know what, guys? That don't have to happen because of a fire sale. That can be done all by hand. Strategically coordinated strikes. Let's go, Brandon.